Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel for this Wednesday morning, afternoon or evening across the world where you may be at. And today I've got the next instalment in my Emmerdale playlist, and we are going to be critiquing Tuesday the 15th of July 2025 episode. That's Tuesday the 15th of July 2025 episode, where we see Lewis had just been talking to Brenda on the phone, who owns the cafe, and he decides to let everyone know that Brenda has agreed to sell her share to him. So he goes into the cafe and lets everybody know, and Nicola, who also owns a share in the cafe with her husband Jimmy, decides she's not very happy about this at first and seems to be against Lewis and his good news of being more involved in the village and being involved in a local business. And she says, "Oh, you can't do that, that's not fair, I've been here longer," and you know, she kind of puts her parts on about it. And Lewis says, "Oh, actually, yes, I can, because Brenda's agreed to sell me her share. But if you don't want me here, I can run against you and be a competitor and have my own business. I am a trained barista and stuff." So she kind of then slowly starts backing down and says, "Oh, you know, maybe we can work together. Maybe we can come to some arrangement." And then she seems to be on board with him working in the cafe and actually having a share in the business. And he says, "You know, you won't regret it, we'll be good partners, and tries to reassure her that everything is good and that they're going to have fun together, working together. And I think this is a good way to involve Lewis and his neurodivergence more. I think it's a good idea that it's going to really include him in his communication, and we're going to see more of his autism coming out, more of his neurodiversity coming out, more of his humour coming out, more of him, his personal side and his backstory coming out. We're going to get to know more about who Lewis is, hopefully." And I understand why Nicola is a bit unsure about it, because, you know, it is a big jump from having to adapt to this new person, this completely new village person, to then all of a sudden being business partners, business associates, having to see him every day, having to be part of the same cafe, being part of the same neighbourhood, getting used to someone who is wired differently and performs differently and acts differently, and being someone that is, you know, quirky and stuff. I think it's going to take Nicola a while to adjust to it, but I think so far Nicola seems to be on board with him and seems to be really learning more about Lewis as himself and the character and some of his little unique things that he does. Then Lewis bumps into his brother Ross, and Ross seems to be really actually fully supportive of him and congratulates his brother and actually supports him in the decision. I think that's really nice, because again, Ross at first was a bit dubious about him. He's like, "Oh, what's this dude's intention? I don't want to know him. I don't want to get close to him. I don't know him. I don't know if I can trust him," which I understand that again as well, because getting to meet a family member for the first time can be quite overwhelming, and getting to know a new person, having to be blood brothers and having to play a part that, you know, now you're having to get used to someone who is neurodivergent, and you're having to get used to seeing him and living in the same locality as him, and getting to see him being part of the cafe, interacting with other villagers and other people, and seeing him how he settles into the community as a person and getting used to being part of the village. I think Ross has done really well to accept him as quick as what he has, and getting used to him as quick as what he has, and he's getting to meet other villagers like Dr. Liam and Moira and Manpreet and Ruby and Jay and others who you'll see in further scenes that he interacts with in each video that I talk about. But I really think that this is a good step to see Lewis's backstory and who he is, and hopefully we'll get to see him more being fun and joking about and proving to people that his neurodiversity isn't going to define him. So please like, comment, share and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!